40 years dating. I'm here to listen and learn. I'm learning how to support your dreams, your goals, allow to become the person that you want to become. Today's big about autonomy in personal life. Autonomy in personal life. I think that the word of autonomy is such a powerful word. I think that it's very subjective. One person wants more autonomy, other person less autonomy, but every single person deserves to have the level of autonomy that they want. And today I want to speak about key aspects of autonomy and what we need to know about autonomy and how really to use autonomy for the better. Because of course we potentially have the freedoms, we have autonomy, but if we don't use it, a lot of times you lose it. I love the saying that what you don't use, you lose. And if you give away that autonomy, sometimes we need to really take that back. And the longer you give away that autonomy, the harder it will be to really take it back. So what are the real key aspects of autonomy? The number one is very easy to understand, is decision-making freedom, the process. So how do you make decisions? Do you always need to get permission from someone? Now, I understand that it's great to get this advice. It's great to discuss. It's great to have support. But who makes the decision? Who makes a call? You or somebody else? You or your parents? You or your wife or a husband? You or your kids? Like whatever it is, who is making a call? And then again, every single person has the freedom to make a decision. It doesn't matter. Like, of course, you understand that when you make a decision, that will influence you and people around you. It might be that you don't want to make a decision because some people will be disappointed. But again, we have autonomy, but will you be able to use that? That's again the question sometimes we need to understand. Number two is self-expression. Everyone wants to express themselves differently. We potentially speak like myself, or like what I'm doing now. We can write, we can paint, we can dance, we can do so many different things. We can do sports. What are your expressions of yourself? Because we potentially can skill sets, hobbies, passions, obsessions. What are your expressions of yourself, self-expressions? And if you have difficulty to understand and think about what are the ways that you express yourself, it might be that you giving away the power of autonomy. Because I'm not doing anything for yourself to express yourself. So sometimes we need to understand again, what are the ways that you can express yourself? Because self-expression is the sign of a great autonomy. Number three is personal responsibility. And it's a beautiful thing. Personal responsibility. That means when you have a lot of responsibility, that means you have a lot of autonomy. If you do not have responsibility and you depend on someone else all the time, that means that you don't have autonomy. Autonomy and responsibility always walk hand in hand. And I think that we need to seek that ownership, seek our responsibility, because every single time when you get more responsibility, you get more autonomy. Now, and that's something a lot of times people give away their autonomy because they don't want responsibility. They don't want responsibility. They better take advice from someone else, take someone else's decision, and then you'll be able to blame someone else. You will not take ownership and say like, you offered me this advice, so this is your fault that I didn't get a result. This is your fault that I didn't move forward. This is your fault. And of course, if you be able to hear ourselves saying that it is someone else's fault, it means we don't have responsibility and we do not have autonomy. I need to change that. Number four is pursuit of personal goals. Personal goals. And of course, that is very, very easy to understand that if you have dreams, if you have goals, that means you need to have autonomy. Because a lot of times when we pursue someone else's goals, we're potentially working for a company, and it might be that by pursuing and giving our best to really help the company to grow, it might be that we're giving away our own personal goals because we don't have autonomy. We're working 10, 12, 14, 16 hours a day for a company's goals, and we're giving them autonomy to our own goals. It might be that there's a lot of things. I understand that there's some situations it's very difficult because we're working 10, 12 hours and we come back and we need to take care of somebody else, maybe kids, parents, whatever it is. I know sometimes it's difficult to really have that autonomy because you really need to take care of other people. That's external things. But we always say like what I'm able to do, how I'm able to do. So not like what's happening right now, but so what kind of parts of my life I could improve. Because most time, even 15 minutes a day could make a massive difference. I think that sometimes we don't realize how even small incremental improvements every single day could transform your life in a couple of years. Because I love calculations. I love calculations. So it means if you really calculate and you add 15 minutes every single day and you develop yourself, pursue those goals, 15 minutes a day, what does end up being? So 4 days is 1 hour. So 8 days is 2 hours. And of course, that adds up. That means that if we look into the whole month, that means we potentially could have, like, so 4 days is 1 hour. If we divide 30, that means we're looking at about potentially 7, 8 hours a month on personal goals. And I think that it is very, very important to understand that when you really want autonomy, sometimes you will start small. And the little start that you're able to increase and increase and increase your autonomy, pursue your goals. And number 5 is the thing that's very, very important as well to mention is the boundary setting. Boundary setting. And again, because a lot of times we do not have our autonomy of pursuing the things that we want because we give away our time. We give away our energy. We give our resources to pursue our own autonomy. So I mean, you need to be very, very careful. And that's why boundary setting is so important to pursue our goals because we lose our freedoms if you're giving away. We give away by making commitments we're not supposed to. We're giving away our time by giving promises, giving resources like energy and mind space. All those things are important. It's adding value to people and being kind is great, but not in a sense that you need to give away your autonomy and your goals. And so, of course, we understand that there is a massive impact of autonomy when you actually having. So that means there's a lot of things that influences, and we need to understand okay, why autonomy matters, why it matters, and we understand that mental emotional well-being that is the first key. When you have a lot of autonomy and use it, and you are feeling that you have all autonomy that you want, you feel more fulfilled, content, and joyful. So that means it's very, very important just to really for your emotional and mental being, your autonomy level. Sometimes when you don't feel emotionally well or mentally well, you can ask as well, how well do I perform on my freedoms to take action, to pursue my goals, and maybe I give away my autonomy. Number 2 is motivation and engagement. So it means that it might be that you're not motivated, you don't take any action, you procrastinate, you avoid things because you pursue someone else's dream, not your own. You pursue someone else's dream, not your own, and you don't have autonomy over your dreams. You don't have autonomy over your actions. Again, this is very important. This decision, those actions that you're taking now is based on your autonomy or not. And if it's not your autonomy, it might be that that's because you lost your motivation. Number 3 is healthy relationships. When you really have autonomy of your actions, of your development, of your goals, and everything in your life is based on your own ownership and responsibility, I truly believe that relations will improve because when you have autonomy, you make decisions, you take control of your life, you are better in communication, better in leadership, better, you value yourself more, you have more courage, you have more confidence, you better manage conflicts, and of course, all those leads to much, much, much more healthy relationships. The boundaries are very important, respect is important, and all of those coming from autonomy. Number 4 and last one, why autonomy matters is really personal growth. Again, I mentioned that when you have autonomy, you are always looking to make decisions and take ownership of decisions and really take actions towards achieving the best results. And that's how we do it. And I think that what everyone needs to know about autonomy is that we need to understand that autonomy is that we need to balance. we always need to really look into that, what I'm able to really get from other people, and what we're able to add to other people. And at the same time, we always need to make sure that we get enough autonomy. And I said at the beginning that every single person needs different kind of level of autonomy. And at the same time, because we understand that every single person has different autonomy levels, we need to understand that we need to respect that someone maybe wants more, someone needs less, and then we understand that maybe one person wants to lead more, and some person wants to really follow, and they don't want to take any leadership. They don't want to be seen. They want to just follow the footsteps. They just want to do what's being said, and that's all fine. That means that I used to think that every single person needs to build a business. Every person wants to need to be wanting to be CEO, but that's not the case. We need to really say, okay, we need to take action that you feel motivated. It doesn't matter how small your goal is. You need to start with what you want, and it doesn't matter if you want to be employee. That's great. If you want to be self-employed, that's great. If you want a business, or that's great. But why do you want that? What was the reason behind it? And when you know that this is your goal, pursue that. And everyone, I need to respect it, and every single person needs to respect our autonomy, because that is our choice to do that. At the same time, when you have autonomy, you're able to navigate your own problems much better. As that you take ownership, you depend on yourself, you take responsibility. Because I love the saying that something is not your fault that something happened. It's not your fault that you failed. It's not your fault that things turn out the way it turned out. It's not your fault, a lot of times. But it's your damn responsibility to make it better, to make it improve it. And that is the autonomy, because you have all the freedom to make decisions to improve that situation, even though it's not your fault, because it's your responsibility to fix that. So I hope you reflect as well, how much autonomy do you have? How much autonomy do you use in your life? And I hope that you will improve that and really take advantage of your freedoms. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.